Alex,
Jason.
I want to talk about something real quick before we get into this.
Yeah.
So you were just looking at St. Petersburg,
Yeah,
which
Russia.
is absolutely amazing, and we get a lot of people from the USSR.
Yeah, shout out to Russia.
On looking at
That's the
organically.
USSR.
Isn't there a song for that? Who sang that? Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah, but those days are over.
I know. That's why I was just like, it was like in 1980.
The good old days of the
Let's
Cold War.
talk about East Germany.
Yeah, the good old days of the Cold War.
No, but whenever we look at anything that has to do with Russia and their artistic ability,
Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out. You know, I mean, and I was telling you off air, you know, like Germany, Berlin, you know, you look at all these different areas in Norway and you start seeing this, but the artistic ability of, I'm just so drawn to the art that's coming out of Russia right now.
But art transcends borders. It can be, you know, interpreted so many different ways depending on who the person is observing it. It's a great way to bring people together. It's a great way to challenge things, challenge the status quo. But, you know, an artist didn't just, you know, for the most sense, great masterpieces, they weren't just in a second. You know, even like, I'll just give the Sistine Chapel, right? Or any sort of marble sculpture. That thing took time. Did it not?
Yes.
It took someone to look at that artist and be like, I will commission you to do this. And I know it's going to be a while, but I'll be patient in that process because the outcome of this is going to be phenomenal, something that unifies. And that's what's so cool about that art. And, you know, from a deep level of respect for that art, you know, the Russians they love it. They're all about it. There's a huge pinpoint of creativity and almost like this edginess that translates very well.
And because I know where you're going with this with Tartle, so but
Yeah.
I want to throw this in.
Of course you do.
So you know, I've been to Moscow, and when you go to Moscow, it's all like everything is, you know, gray, and, you know, thanks to Stalin, everything's gray and like just, you know, bleak, and all the buildings kind of look industrialized the same. Did that environment, just that gray, bleak environment, did that environment make these people so creative?
No.
What is in these beautiful people to make such amazing art?
It's those thoughts, it's those emotions. And that world of Moscow was not representative of what the Russian people really are. The Russian people are a strong culture. Okay? They're a critical thinking culture. You know, they are beautiful people in a real sense. I mean,
Yes.
they have really great genetics.
Yes.
You know, and now they've had the chances, like, you know, we've moved out of this communist gray world, and we want to now say that we can have our art, our culture, our creativity shine, you know, through these other places, and it can be seen. You just have to look for it.
So whenever you take something that's not representative of what they view as reality now, but it's
Yeah.
not the true reality.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it may look gray and bleak and kind of like our world looks now, with everything that's going on. And then you look at what's truly in the heart and the intent of the people.
Yeah.
And then you get these people collectively coming together and making this amazing art. Whenever we look at Tartle and we look at people signing up and early adopters, and we've had people say, hey, you know, we haven't got any money yet. We're kind of waiting, you know,
Right.
what's going on? You know, and we send them an email, kind of let people know. What is an early adopter?
I don't know if this is a good metaphor, but I'll use it. Most paintings, famous paintings, are only famous after the artist dies.
Yes.
It took a lot of time for people to see that value. Now, in a digital world, we can accelerate how people see that value much faster than any time before. So if you're an early adopter on Tartle, you're a part of that rich, unifying culture that is trying to gear this world towards a brighter future, focusing on these causes, economically uplifting ourselves, taking responsibility for things, and being patient. Because as more of us come together as these early adopters, we're showing these resource holders, these data buyers, that we want to take a stance for this. This is what we want our future to look like. You have to show these people that you care about your data, that you really, truly know at the core that you've put in your blood, sweat, and tears into your thoughts and how you interact and everything you do day in and day out, and there's value to it. And you hold that value, and that they should ask you for that value. But they won't pay attention as quick as you want them to. unless we all come together, unless we share with other people the good on this mission that is trying to happen with targeting these big 7 items that face humanity right now. And that early adopter is moving towards being that data champion. They are patient and they understand the value of collective unity,
Right.
of us shining bright internally, regardless of how sterile and bland our environment around us may look. But we have to come together because us as a unifying force of our data, taking that sort of revolutionary step will make these other people wake up and be like, you know what? Let's start paying these people. And that option's there. But you got to be that patient early adopter that really sees the future as much as we do. You have to feel it internally. Not witness it in a cold gray world, but see internally, look deep down about what you want, what you really care about, and share those things you care about. And prove to people that you have the responsibility to take hold of what is yours.
Yeah, and number 4 on our big 7 is global peace.
Yeah.
And when we look at Tartle and we look at that being no borders, people are anonymous on the system.
Yeah.
So
it's a borderless anonymous system.
So it's just data, which is agnostic.
Yeah.
But I want to get into Tartle and global peace because I think this is important for being an early adopter. Mm-hmm. Whenever we begin to have influence in a sense of a decentralized world.
Yeah.
And we have a system of something that everybody is using, and that's their data.
Yep.
When we bring that together, what begins to happen?
What you have is you have a collective effort defining their future. For so long, the world has lacked this sort of decentralization, but it's becoming decentralized. And that forces us as human beings to be responsible for ourselves and everything we interact with. And we have, for many, many years, let a very selective amount of people decide for us what our future looks like. And that has not gone well. We've given up that power. We've given up that path. We have not come together collectively to focus on things that are really important. And now through data, through this tool, we can define our peace. We can define our future. We can come together borderless in a unifying effort of all of our thoughts, all of our data to say, this is how we define ourselves, and this is how we define what a world we see in the future. And we want you, the resource holders, to respect our vision, to respect our needs and wants, because there are 7 billion of us. 7 billion. And only a couple 100,000 of you. So we need you to wake up and pay attention to the revolution that's happening here with these early adopters, what we're doing with our data, because we want a peaceful world. We want a truthful world. And that will happen when we openly share between one another and begin to understand who we are at that deep core level, much like our Russian friends understand who they are and then express that creatively through art. Everybody needs to have that sort of expression. They have a right to that expression. And that will be respected through their data.
And when we look at the Industrial 4.0, and that's what everyone's talking about, this new world that we're coming into, this new decentralized world, at the forefront of it all, the catalyst.
For all of it.
The fuel, let's say the fuel. It's not steam, it's not electricity, it's not nuclear power.
No.
The energy that what fuels the 4.0 industrial revolution, what's fueling this world is data.
Yeah. And that data is fueled by one person. You. You're the one that drives that future. All these resource holders, all these people at these Davos conferences, whatever these big think tanks, they're thinking about the future, but what needs to be respected is that you're the one that really is driving it. You're behind the wheel. They're just analyzing where that path is going and then talking about it. So why don't you have them talk a news story? Be that early adopter. I want you to write the news. I want you to write your own history book and not have it written for you. I want all of these people to be those data champions and say, this is our world. This is what we're going to stand for. This is my data. And this is how we're going to change things for the better. Hands down. This is how we want to evolve.